You studied. You swore the oath. You framed your citizenship certificate with pride. But what if I told you that your passport can still vanish even decades later? Most Americans think that citizenship is forever. But now in 2025, under the current Trump administration, even those of you who have naturalized are at risk. Today, I'm breaking down 4 ways that you could lose your U.S. citizenship, including under the new policies and crucial tips to protect yourself, because if you don't and you get denaturalized, it's not just lost paperwork. You lose your rights, you lose your status, you lose your home, you could lose everything. Hello. I'm Zaira Solano, founder of Solano Immigration Law Firm, and most of us think that U.S. citizenship is meant to be permanent, a lifelong protection. But in 2025, under President Trump's new administration, even naturalized Americans are looking over their shoulders. The government has revived and expanded denaturalization efforts, making it a lot easier for them to strip citizenship from those found to have violated certain rules. This is really serious. Losing citizenship means losing your rights and even being deported from the United States, the place that you call home. Historically, denaturalization was rare, but now it's a hot topic, and with Trump officials pledging to turbocharge reviews of naturalized citizens. In this video, I'll explain 4 newer expanded ways that you could lose your citizenship under these policies. I'll cover each ground, give examples such as real cases, and show how court decisions such as Melanchik versus United States could apply. Finally, we'll share tips on how to protect yourself in this tough climate. Let's dive in. It's alarming, but knowing about this is the best defense that you can have. Number 1, you were never eligible for naturalization to become a citizen to begin with. This means that you didn't actually meet the requirements when you applied for citizenship, and the government can take you back. For example, you didn't live in the United States for the requisite physical presence period of either 5 or 3 years. Or you said on your application that you're a person of good moral character and you failed to mention information about previous arrests, criminal history, and convictions. Or let's say that you gave fake information and didn't reveal that you were previously deported under another name or identity. And lastly, if the way that you obtained your green card and became a permanent resident, which made you eligible for citizenship, was obtained through fraudulent means and you should have never had a green card to begin with. What's changed is that the Trump administration is now digging through files. They're reopening cases, and even small errors and things that you think are small from years ago that you forgot to mention can now be used against you. Number 2, you lied or you left something out on your application. If you knowingly omitted information or you knowingly lied, you could lose your citizenship. An example is a woman named Norma who obtained her citizenship in 2007. And years later, the government came after her because they learned that she worked for a company that was involved in fraud. Although she wasn't arrested and she wasn't criminally charged for fraud, she knew about the fraud that was happening right under her nose, right under her eyes, and she didn't report it. On one of the answers on the citizenship form, she marked no, and it cost her her citizenship. What's changed is that before, small little things might get overlooked by an immigration officer, but now these mistakes are being treated as fraud. These mistakes, although you may have forgotten and it wasn't purposeful, can now be interpreted by Homeland Security as something intentional that you meant to lie about. Number 3, supporting an extremist or banned group. If you're involved with certain groups the United States considers hostile, especially in the first 5 years that you naturalize, the government can say that you were never loyal to the United States in the first place. An example is someone who became a citizen in 2020, and then in 2025, they show public support for a terrorist-labeled group like Hamas. This person can be targeted, and this person could potentially be denaturalized. Even though you believe you're exercising your freedom of speech, as a naturalized citizen with the Trump administration reopening cases and really taking a close look at people who are exercising that right, they may denaturalize you. Although this is rare, the Trump administration is openly pushing to use this against naturalized citizens who attend protests or who share certain views online. Number 4, dishonorable military discharge after naturalization. If you gained your citizenship through military service, but then you were later dishonorably discharged within the first 5 years of having your citizenship, you could lose your citizenship. So, for example, someone who naturalized in 2021 through military service was then later court martialed and discharged in 2023. The government can now revoke citizenship for this person. Again, this is rare, but with the current administration, we see that they are much more aggressive in using these rare rules to denaturalize a person. How can you protect yourself? Here are some tips. Keep records. Save copies of your applications and anything that you've ever submitted to the government. If you need to look back at it and refer it, it's so much easier to have it in hand than to go through the process of having to request it through a FOIA, for example. Also, you want to stay out of trouble. Avoid legal issues. Avoid being in situations where you can get involved. Don't break the law. Make sure that you stay out of legal trouble. Be careful with affiliations. Think twice before you publicly support a controversial or potentially violent group. If you're in the military, serve honorably. This means that you complete your 5-year commitment after becoming naturalized through military service where you are not dishonorably discharged. And lastly, get legal help early. If you think someone in your past could have a problem and you're seeing this video, talk to an immigration attorney before it becomes a bigger issue. Even though the naturalization cases are rare, the climate in 2025 is much more aggressive than ever before. And the government must prove their case in court, and you also have your rights. But knowing these risks can really help you stay safe and keep your citizenship. Now you've seen how fragile your citizenship can be after naturalization. But what if the real battle starts much earlier, before you even get your passport? In 2025, green card approvals for spouses are hitting new walls. We're seeing stricter interviews, longer delays, and hidden traps for families that you might not see coming. If marriage is part of your immigration story, or might be in the future, click here to view this next video, and I'll walk you through the new hurdles and how to beat them before they crush your future and your opportunity to get a green card.